So in this CP short, we are going to talk about, quote, why I work out. This is something that came up. We launched our Clinically Pressed store, shameless plug. Go to clinicallypressed.org/shop, and you can find our clothing store. It's housed on a third-party website. They handle all the back end, so you deal with everything there. But in setting up for that, one of the things that we've always joked about doing is having kind of funny one-liners for social media, and maybe those go on to t-shirts. And so we jumped into that, and one of the ones that we first came out with is, I work out because I enjoy pizza and beer. And that's ultimately come from me, because I joke about it, but only slightly. Yes, we are a nonprofit and a podcast about health and fitness and wellness and nutrition, and pizza and beer don't always fit into that nicely by kind of standard definition. But at the same time, you can talk about enjoying life and the mental health aspect of it. And so for really, that's why I say it, because I do enjoy those things and want to do those, but also want to be healthy and live long. And for anybody who doesn't know me personally, or we haven't connected, I'm 6'3", 275 pounds, body fat percentage in the probably mid-20s, 25, which is higher than I'd like it to be. Not awful, but not great either. And it's probably too much pizza, because at the same time I live by the credo that any pizza is a personal pizza if you try hard enough. But always wanting to keep that in mind and making sure that I can enjoy those things while still moving in a direction that I would like to with my body composition and just my own physical fitness goals, which is generally just to try and get stronger, and probably need to up the cardio a little bit so I can chase around my kids and not feel like I'm getting winded. So really, that's what, when we talk about the why we work out, for me, it's that balance of doing the physical things to keep my body moving in the right direction, ensuring that I've got good strength, I'm able to do the things I want to, A, like I mentioned, with playing with kids, but B, just for the everyday things around the house, mowing the yard, shoveling snow, all the things that just require those, but being able to do those and do it well. And honestly, for me, it's a little bit of vanity, wanting to feel like I look good and that I feel comfortable in how I look. And honestly, that's having some muscle on me, which I feel like most people wouldn't disagree with, that they enjoy having that little bit of extra muscle to them to feel good about themselves. And so, or, just dropping those couple extra pounds, whatever that is for you and is important in that regard. So ultimately, when I say this, you got to find what works for you and what makes things easy for your workout program. I've been all over the place with mine. Inconsistent is about the only way that you could describe my workout program. It usually consists of lifting some weights. I've tried to repurpose a program that was powerlifting based that a good friend Andy Askow gave me, but with that changed a few things. Pausing on doing deadlifts now just for injury risk, and it's loud in our home gym, but just to kind of watch out for things as I'm not getting any younger. But ultimately, it's, again, finding what works for you. Is that doing a home program? Is it body weight, which you can do a lot of great things with? Is it going to the gym and hitting a circuit on the machines for strength? There's absolutely nothing wrong from that. You can get very strong very quickly by doing those things. But ultimately, one thing that I took away that was really helpful from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, which we'll link up, is the idea of making consistency the thing, but just by doing something and setting realistic expectations. And this is one that I've tried to really embrace, that it doesn't have to be an hour in the gym 3 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever it may be. It could be kids got up early, or there's something else that came up. It could be you just get to the gym and or you're home or whatever it is, and you get through a quarter of it, but you did it. You were there and you made it a part of the consistent habit, and you should still see that as a win. You may just not feel up to doing what you had planned for that day. I've had that where it just squatting was not going to happen that day, so we adjusted. We still did something, and that was more of the key. He actually had a story I've heard on several podcasts with him, that the guy, when he started, got a gym membership, would drive to the gym just to not work out, but then would go back home, and it was about building the habit of going to the gym. And then obviously he started going to the gym and staying there, but he purposely built it up extremely slowly, so it never felt overwhelming to him. It was just the process of getting it ingrained into those habits, and I found that to be super, super useful and good, and almost give you kind of a pass for wanting to be able to do something, but not feeling guilty that you weren't able to get through the whole entire workout, which definitely is something that I've dealt with. And that, like, oh, well, if I can't do all of this stuff for the whole hour, then what's the point of doing it? Doing something, squats and some push-ups, instead, that you have time for, it's going to have an impact, and that's worth doing. And then honestly, the best workout is the one that you do. And so there's a very big difference between workout and training, and that's something we get into depending on who you are and what your goals are. And that's the important thing there. You can find any workout, anybody can get you one that can make you sore, it can make you tired, and that's great. If that is what works for you and gets you going, and there's a community around it that you enjoy, by all means, embrace that. Always be open to the idea that if you're not making progress you want, maybe it's time to look at something a little different. But don't not do it for some specific reason. The best one that you can do, the best workout is the one that you're going to do. And that's something, again, I've had to figure out how to find and balance out in my own. And then really, again, how does it fit into your life and your goals? We talked about that a little bit earlier. Personally, the things that I have for life and goals with working out, and find the thing that does it. I have to remind myself sometimes, even with, some of the stuff I do, like, does anybody else care if I didn't squat twice this week, or if I gave up deadlifting, or if I want to focus on some vanity muscles because I like the way that they look? Why? Why can't I do that? There's no rules against that. And so just trying to figure that out and be comfortable with that and not feel like I'm letting something or someone down for some weird reason. And so that, again, just what makes you feel better. If that vanity muscles, for lack of a better description, is what is going to get you into the gym, go for it. Just say, balance it out. If you really want the vanity ones, focus on your back, your shoulders, and then you can do all the other stuff because everything else will funnel in. But really focusing on your back is going to make all those other vanity muscles really come through. And then the last point to kind of wrap up this CP short is don't overcomplicate what you're doing. You can get a tremendous amount of results by sticking to some basic sets and reps, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, adding weight as you're able to, or adding reps as you're able to, focusing on the same exercises for 3, 4, 5, even 6 weeks in a row. And then as you start kind of topping out, maybe it's time to switch it up a little bit, change the grip, change the position, just change something slightly, but don't overcomplicate it. If you're looking to build some muscle, again, big movements. Back exercises are going to be great for your back and also your arms. Pressing exercises, great for your chest and your shoulders, but also your arms. And you can put out so much more force and strength with those that you'll end up getting more of the results that I think that you're looking for. You don't need to necessarily get super fancy with all the different types of variations of exercises. You definitely can. but it isn't necessary, especially if you're just starting out. So don't get overwhelmed. Start with some basics. Try and keep it balanced. Just given the nature of our world, for upper body, the more you can do kind of pulling exercises, rows, pull downs, different things there. Maybe a little bit more than pushing, just because we tend to be a little more shortened and kind of rounded in the front. Can help balance out some posture things too, which can also be highly beneficial to you. So with that, why I work out is it's general health, but just finding the things that work. Again, enjoy pizza and beer, and that's important to me to be able to enjoy those things when I want to, because it is a community thing. It's just a general happiness thing. Try and eat good 80% of the time to let that 20% go. That's one of the 80-20 principle things that I think is really kind of nice, because it gives you some permission, whether you need it or not, in order to be able to live life and do the things. Obviously, you can take it more intense, nothing wrong with that. But again, just find what works for you. So this is why I work out on the CP Short, and we'll catch you on the next episode.